Cheers.
Cheers.
Can I help you?
You're going to think I'm going round the twist.
Try telling me.
So what's your builder's name, Mrs. Cox?
Draper. Scott Draper. I'd guess he'd be in his early 20s.
Mm-hmm. And you just found yourself chatting about a shooting?
It's really shaken me up. I can't get it out of my head that he really could have murdered someone.
So what actually did he say to you yesterday?
You know, I have been racking my brains all night and I can't think how he ever got onto it. I think that I said something like, it must be really nice for his wife having someone so handy. And he said it was useful in other ways too, being a builder, because he'd once been able to brick up someone's clothes inside a wall. Well, I laughed, thinking it was a joke he'd played on a mate or something. I asked why he did it.
What then?
Suddenly, he was saying how he pointed a gun at a man and squeezed the trigger. The man dropped down. And that was it. All over. All about how easy it was, only he was saying it like it was the most normal thing in the world.
Oh, I remember the Draper brothers, all right. But I never knew there was a younger brother.
Oh, yeah. There's a big age gap between Scott and the other two. Were you after them at AMIP?
I was on the verge of putting Tommy and Gavin away for something a lot more substantial than armed robbery. But I had to give up my inquiries when Chris Lovell's activities came to light. And I was suspended from AMIP.
What was that, Gov? The Drapers?
3 years ago, there was an attack on a security van, where two masked men led away one of the guards at gunpoint. Now, the guard, Tony Lamb, I think his name was, hasn't been seen or heard of since. And I've always fancied Tommy and Gavin for that one.
And you think Tony Lamb could be Scott's victim?
Scott's got no form, has he?
Do you think the Drapers were customers for Lovell's information?
Well, who knows? You see, an established family like that, word must have gotten to them that there was an AMIP super with a leaky bagman. And I was beginning to be pretty heavily down Tommy Draper's neck.
For murder? So you don't think Mrs. Cox was overreacting then? That Scott Draper was just trying to get some sort of rise out of her?
This Rosemary Cox, how reliable is she?
Easily impressed, I'd say. But very genuine.
Right. Let's start some preliminary inquiries, shall we? See what we can turn up. It's a long time since I've been here.
Well, if it isn't the superintendent.
It's Detective Chief Inspector now, Mrs. Draper.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. You slipped on a banana skin.
Still got enough clout to get things moving, Marion.
What do you want with me, anyway? You should know I've none of my men left here now.
Can we come in?
No.
We're looking for your son, Scott.
Scott! You never said you was wanting the nick repainted.
It's in connection with a serious matter.
No way. Not him. He might have inherited his dad's looks, but he's just never been up for the bold stroke. Know what I mean?
Is Scott here, Mrs. Draper?
No, he ain't. And I'm telling you, you're wasting your time with him.
Well, he hasn't turned up for work today. And there's nobody at home, so we thought he might be here.
He's married now to Leslie York. You put our brother Freddie away when you was superintendent.
Not before time. He's a violent man.
Probably why she went for Scott. The old Draper charm. Fell for it myself when I was her age. But Scott's never going to get her that villa in the sun she wants. He hasn't the vision or the ambition. Not like my other boys.
He may be a lot more like your other boys than you think.
Are you going to tell me what you're after him for?
Now, you know the answer to that, Marion. We want him to help us with our inquiries. I bet Marion Draper's life story is worth the telling. I've seen pictures of her dressed to the nines, all the men around her, like she was some kind of queen bee.
Yeah. And her egging him on to bring her back the honey.
Oh, yeah, that's certainly.
Never saw the glamour in prison visiting myself.
You? What the egg do you want? Oh, Freddie's not gone out, has he?
No.
I thought for a second. What are you after them?
Is your husband in?
Scott? What's he supposed to have done? Nicked a bag of crisps?
Scott, you've got visitors.
Scott Draper, I'm DCI Meadows from Sun Hill. This is DC Lines.
Yeah? Come in.
Must be a bit more than shoplifting to bring you out the woodwork.
Leave it out.
Well, what you done then?
What's this about?
You're working for Rosemary Cox.
Yeah?
Well, apparently you had a very interesting conversation with her yesterday.
You've been trying to get your leg over.
Oh, is that what you were trying to do? Chat her up by telling her what a man you are.
Did you take your scrapbook over to show her then?
And what book's that, Mrs. Draper?
You leave it where it is.
It's his favourite reading. The Glories of the Drapers.
Well, this lot was before Scott was born.
His dad started it. Now he keeps it up. No one else is interested. Except I noticed it was gone yesterday. Take it to work to impress her, did you?
Leave it out, will you?
Mystery of a missing security guard. So what's this doing here? Since when was this down to your family? And there's more on the missing guard. Is this what you were talking to Rosemary Cox about?
What's going on? What's he been saying?
So what's that stuff doing in there? I think you know what happened to Tony Lamb.
He knows nothing about all that.
What do you know? You don't know everything. I might just surprise you one day.
Well, we'd like you to come down to the station. And perhaps you can surprise us. 3 years ago, during a raid on a security van in Canley Street, a security guard was led away at gunpoint. Tony Lamb. Now, I think you were there, and I think you led Tony Lamb away. Yesterday, you told Mrs. Cox how easy it was to shoot a man. Is that what you did?
You came looking for me because some lonely cow starts romancing. Why should I know anything about some stick-up that happened years ago?
We've been looking at all the cuttings you got pasted in this album. Now, come on. Tell me why you told Mrs. Cox.
You tell me.
Well, I think it was on your mind. I think it was bothering you. See, I don't think you're that ruthless that a cold-blooded killing wouldn't come back to haunt you at night. You met Mrs. Cox, she was a nice lady, she was sympathetic, and you thought, I'll take a chance. And you told her.
Must be a relief getting it off your chest.
Unless, of course, you didn't want to do it. Perhaps Gavin or Tommy made you do it.
What are you going on about Tommy and Gavin all the time for? Why does it always have to be down to them?
Typical Draper job, wasn't it?
Although Tommy and Gavin would make sure that nobody got in the way. They wouldn't risk making a mistake that would land them with a life sentence, which is what you're looking at, Scott.
Maybe the kid brother's a bit of a hothead.
Is that what happened, Scott? You got carried away?
No one says the Drapers had anything to do with that job.
Well, I do. I'm saying it now. Come on, Scott. Tell us what you told Mrs. Cox.
I put him in the back of the car. Next to me so I could keep the gun on him. We drove to this old flooded gravel pit, all surrounded by trees. I made him get out the car and stand there, right near the edge of the quarry. And I shot him. Really simple. One shot in the back of the head. I didn't have to see his face. I'd already thought it all out, what I had to do, so as he'd not be identified even if he got found. Then I tied him to a concrete post from an old fence and rolled him over into the water. Gone. Disappeared. See? It doesn't take much, really. Not when you've got the bottle. So, you're going to charge me or what?
So, the boss was right. Young Scott told us the same story he told Mrs. Cox. That security guard is at the bottom of a gravel pit somewhere.
Well, Meadows must be pleased.
Yeah. What bugs me is why Scott Draper chose to confess now. Funny thing is, he doesn't seem that bothered. Not like he's just got something off his chest.
Well, maybe he's been promoted head of the family in the temporary absence of his brothers. Maybe the body's about to float.
Yeah, well, the governor's getting a warrant to look for the guard's uniform. If it's where Scott says it is, he can tell AMIP that he's cleared it up very nicely for him. All right, we're here.
On the ground floor. We sealed up the fireplace.
You sure? Right. Tosh, look after him. I'll have a word with the people inside.
Right. Yes?
DCI Meadows, on Hill. And you're Mr...
Derek Salter.
I'm sorry to trouble you, Mr. Salter, but I'm afraid we're going to have to come in and look around your flat. Tosh, bring him in.
Right, come on.
Mr. Salter, this is DC Lines.
Hello.
And Mr. Draper. Come on.
Sorry about this.
It's all right. They're police. They want to search for something.
In here?
I am sorry about this. We'll be out of here as soon as we possibly can. Right, is that it? You sure?
Yeah.
Right, let's do it. Try not to make too much mess.
Well, this is all very exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, the boss is clearing up a spot of unfinished business.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, a murder investigation he had to abandon when he left AMIP. He's not the kind of man who likes to leave loose ends hanging about.
Yeah, it can be tough living with unfinished business.
I think you better wait outside.
What's this all about?
Well, it's part of an ongoing investigation into a possible murder.
Murder? But he's such a nice-looking lad.
Well, in my experience, looks don't have anything to do with it.
Gov? Tart. We've got it, Gov.
Told you, didn't I?
Right. Let's run through some of it again, shall we?
Okay.
Now, eyewitnesses said there were 2 masked men who raided the security van, so that's you and who else?
I ain't grassing no one up.
Was it Tommy or Gavin? Don't tell me you used somebody from outside the family.
I ain't saying, okay? Besides, the murder's down to me alone.
So who did the driving? Oh, we'll leave that for the minute. Why did you lead Tony Lamb away?
He saw my face. Pulled my headgear off when I was inside the van. I wasn't taking no chances.
Why didn't you shoot him there and then?
Untidy. I like to do a job proper.
Whose decision was it to go tooled up? Yours?
I had hold of the gun. That's all I'm telling you.
Who planned the raid?
Like you said. I don't want the killing on my mind no more. Doesn't mean I have to give you chapter and verse on everything else.
Things have been pretty quiet since Tommy and Gavin got sent down. Haven't they, Scott? Why haven't you kept busy?
How do you know I ain't?
Leslie told us, you remember?
Leave her out of this.
Your mother said that she married you because she thought you were going to follow in your brother's footsteps. Lead her to a life of luxury on the Costa del Crime. I didn't see Leslie like that at all.
Don't know what you're getting at.
You know, at first I thought you just wanted to get all this off your chest. But when you started to tell us about it, you sounded proud of it. Proud of what you've done. Is that right, Scott?
You can think what you like. I've done what I did, and now I've told you about it.
But I'm wondering why. Why have you told us about it?
My business, okay?
Right. Now, where's this pit where you dumped Tony Lamb?
I didn't watch the road on purpose. We do things on a need-to-know basis. Clever, eh?
You've had the luxury of a confession. But don't kid yourself, luxuries don't come cheap. You'll go down for this, for life. So, what do you think so far?
Well, the uniform was exactly what he said it was. That ties him in pretty conclusively.
Yeah, but you could still deny it all, couldn't I? We've got nothing to make it stick.
Forensic may come up with something on the uniform.
We need a body.
Doesn't look like Scott's running the show, though, does it?
Exactly. I want to talk to the brothers. I want to ring the prison and arrange an interview.
So you've still got Scott in the frame for the actual murder?
Oh, yeah. His story's for real. His mum was right. He can't hack it. He had to tell someone. And he must have known that when he told Rosemary Cox, she's not the sort of person just to sit on her hands.
Doesn't sound much like your hard man killer.
They don't usually, do they?
Still, I haven't seen the boss so bright and eager for a while.
Yeah. Hello, DC Lines. Yeah. OK, right, I'll be straight down. Leslie Draper's downstairs, wondering where her husband is.
What's going on? Where is he?
Would you like to come in here for a moment, Mrs. Draper? Please. Take a seat.
Well, you fitting him up for something?
Like what?
Oh, come on. Scott's never been up to anything. That's his trouble.
What do you mean?
People hear he's a draper. They expect him to be tough. It's a hard family, innit? But he's never made a reputation for himself. He thinks people laugh at him behind his back. He torments himself sometimes. I thought perhaps he'd done something just to prove them wrong, but nothing serious.
How long have you been married?
A couple of years. What's that got to do with it?
Would you say he's had something on his mind?
What kind of question's that?
Mrs. Draper, Scott has just confessed to murder.
Murder?
I'm afraid so, yes.
I want to see him.
We haven't finished interviewing him.
You ain't charged him yet? He ain't done it, that's why. You're winding me up. Scott hasn't murdered anyone. He couldn't.
He says he has. And he told the woman he's working for yesterday.
Is this that job you were looking at in that scrapbook?
Yes.
Well, I suppose there's one person who'll be thrilled to hear all this.
Who's that then?
His stupid mother.
Yes, sir.
DCI Meadows and DC Lines from Sun Hill.
Hello.
Hello, Tommy.
Mr. Meadows.
I don't believe you know DC Lines.
Hello. Oh yeah, my kid brother's got himself in a spot of bother. What's he been up to?
He's confessed to shooting Tony Lamb in the back of the head.
Tony Lamb? But...
After the security van raid in Canley Street.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Meadows, I really am. But that's the best joke I've heard in years. Young Scott sitting in Sun Hill pouring his heart out to you. What does he say he's done with the body?
At the bottom of a disused, flooded gravel pit. Perhaps you'd like to share the joke.
Right at this moment, Tony Lamb is living it up on some beach in Rio. Shacked up with some local maiden, I hear. He's done all right for himself.
You mean there was no killing?
That's not our style. You should know that.
So he's just been winding us up.
That I wouldn't know.
Was Tony Lamb in on the job?
He's in Rio. That's all I'm saying.
And you covered his tracks, but making it look like you blew him away. You took a chance.
Never came to court. Even if it had, it wouldn't have hurt Tony by then to say where he was.
But it was your job.
Yeah, okay. You can have it. What the heck, I'll only get a concurrent. You were pretty close behind us anyway, as I recall, Mr. Meadows. Then you had to leave off, owing to a bit of bother of your own.
Was Scott involved at all?
No, we never took Scott on a job. Never.
But he knew where the uniform was.
The kid was desperate to be involved, so we gave it to him to get rid of. Never dreamt he'd pull this trick.
And does Scott know where Tony Lamb is now?
No, we never said. We're not ones to take our work home.
Could he have thought you took Tony Lamb away and killed him?
In cold blood? There are some sickos in here who enjoy killing. I prefer football.
Well, thanks for putting us straight.
No Draper's going to make a laughing stock of himself. The screws say we're all volunteers in here. But you don't go putting yourself away just to shine up your image, do you? Or if you do, you better be well prepared to live up to it. A kid like Scott wouldn't last 2 minutes in here. He'd end up in the seg with the nonces. And no brother of mine goes on Rule 43, no way. I've got my dignity to consider.
And you think he would have played it through right to the end?
He just doesn't have what it takes. That's his trouble.
I persuaded myself he was singing in tune, didn't I?
Come on. Who was to know he was just a wannabe?
No, there's too much at stake trying to sort the past out. I missed all the warning signs.
It was still a clear-out goal.
Yeah.
One more robbery down to the Draper brothers. And you can have an interesting chat with Tony Lamb's grieving widow. Yeah?
All right, Scott. That's enough excitement for one day.
Aren't you going to charge me?
What with? Wasting police time?
No, murder.
You'll be charged with being an accessory to the robbery and released on bail.
Come on, let's get your stuff. It's not a hotel.
I told you I did it. You found the uniform, didn't you? Just where I said it was.
Tommy gave it to you to get rid of. He's just told us.
But you got to believe me. That Rosemary Cox believed me. I shot him. In the back of the head.
Tony Lamb's in Rio. His wife's just confirmed it. It's time to go home.
Come on, let's have you.
Did you get a result?
Not the one I expected.
You gotta watch out for the past, you know. It tends to hang onto your shirt tail and whisper sweet nothings in your ear.
Yeah. Yeah, you leave an idea lying around for long enough, and it takes on a life of its own. I won't make that mistake again in a hurry.